Hello. Kind of wanted to sort of make a bit of a video here about regarding the Arrow releases of Friday the 13th films. Obviously, as you saw in the last video, I got Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X on 4K, and of course, last year I got Friday the 13th Reboot. And so, since getting these, a lot of people have been curious. Will Arrow also release Freddy vs. Jason? Because also I got the steelbook of Friday the 13th, the original film, on 4K. Also a Blu-ray disc in it. And there's also a 4K version of Part 2 out, which I'll probably get in the near future. But, I saw an interview with Cliff McMahon, I believe that's his last name, who actually works at Arrow and also helped with the Scream Factory release of the Friday the 13th films back in 2020. And so, with the Arrow releases as well as Paramount putting out the 4K versions of, seems like slowly but surely they're going to have all 8 of the Paramount films in the future. People are like, well, will we ever get a 4K version of Freddy vs. Jason? And that's really because, apparently, as Cliff said in an interview from Christian Hanna at Planet CHH, where he talks a lot about physical media, primarily horror. He does a lot of Friday the 13th videos, and I'll actually leave a link in the at the bottom in the comments about the interview. So if you haven't seen it, you can. Where they talk about various things, and including, Freddy vs. Jason. And essentially he did say, because this year they're putting out a 4K version of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, he was told he was not able to get Freddy vs. Jason. And so, obviously the implication is that film will be part of the first 7, and yet everywhere you can go to, pre-order the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K series set, it says all 7 films, and so which obviously means no Freddy versus Jason. And if that's the case, and he's like, well, maybe I'll have to try to keep talking to them until I'm able to get somewhere with that. And I actually meant to mention something before when I showed off these, and I know I really didn't, and so because of that, I wanted to make this video here a bit, and not just have to wait until actually June 13th, which is actually the very day that the original film came out. And so, yeah, thinking that, be cool, sort of do a bit of a video about the franchise all these years later. Again, like as if I need another excuse to talk about these films, but yeah, the 4K releases of this franchise has been pretty good. I really like the transfers. They look great. Really cool that you get the theatrical and killer cut of this film, as well as, you get the unrated and theatrical cut here. Though, the first disc has most of the special features, which is quite interesting considering, used to be the second disc would have like so many of the features, whereas for Arrow, for these releases, and I think some others, if they have like a rated and unrated cut on different discs. There's a brand new documentary on the Killer Cut, and there is a commentary on the theatrical cut by the director, another one by the writers, and then new interviews and other things. They call this a remake, but again, this is not a remake. If this was a remake, Jason would only show up at the very end of the film. And as a kid. But he is the main killer. Obviously, we see a bit of Pamela at the very beginning, but yeah, Jason is really the killer. And we obviously know Pamela killed all the camp counselors except for this woman. We don't know who she is. But she cuts off her head and then runs away. So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of... But yeah, it's always interesting. People call this a remake. And I think it's because, there's been so many remakes in the 2000s and even into the 2010s of horror films or franchises, remakes, and yet here this one comes along, a reboot, starting, fresh, basically, to hopefully for more films, which unfortunately never happened for people who are fans of this franchise. But yeah, I could see, if Arrow is able to get Freddy versus Jason, to have Freddy Krueger here, and then Jason Voorhees there. The hockey mask, and then the burnt face and the fedora. Yeah, and obviously the hockey mask on this side for Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, I really love this release. It's great. All these Arrow releases are amazing. The Shout Factory releases are great. Also, the fact that they also got the electric press kit and stuff from that Shout Factory also had was great for this. And as I mentioned, they have some horror or some carryovers from the Shout Factory set for these two also. But yeah. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. I guess there is some hope, possibly. Might be small, but Warner Brothers owns New Line Cinema, obviously now. Apparently, they're just like, there's a new Nightmare on Elm Street set coming out, so, never said it was going to be part of it, but the implication with the being denied being part of Arrow, that film being denied for Arrow to license, it implied, well, then that's where the 4K transfer will be. It's like, okay, fine. Nope. So, who knows? Hopefully we will get a 4K version of the film. If it was with Arrow, that would be great, but yeah. Anyway, That's all I really wanted to say. I hope all of you are doing well. Please have a great day. I hope you've had a great month, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.